Hi, in this module, I'm going to be talking about how publishers make money through digital advertising. In approaching the industry, there are a lot of different ways to think about digital advertising. We can think about sales models, we can think about advertiser objectives, we can think about the type of devices that the advertising runs on. But I think the easiest place to start is to start with ad formats. So that's where I'm going to start today. Obviously, the lines blur between different types of ad formats, but I'm going to try to call out the different distinctions that are meaningful from an advertiser, a user, and a publisher perspective. Let's start with search, since it may be the cleanest form of ad format, and let's start with the Google homepage. In this case, Google is the publisher, but the story is the same for any publisher who implements Google search. Let's type in an example, iPhone. iPhone is an example of what we would refer to as a highly monetizing search term. That just means that a lot of advertisers are interested in it. In fact, in this particular case, the ads appear above the links that are not ads. Here on the left-hand side, we see ads coming back from Apple for their own products. And over on the right-hand side, we see Verizon ads for the iPhone. Then further, another Verizon ad. And it's only once we've scrolled down the page that we start to even get to the links to Apple for their own products below the ads on this page. The main thing to note for most of these ads is, other than some images, it's a series of text strings along with the famous blue links that have hardly changed within 20 years. Now, let's look at traditional display ads, and as an example, on the Yahoo homepage. Here we see an ad loaded at the top of the page for Tax Act. Unlike search ads, display ads are generally referred to by their position on the page and the size of the unit. The ad at the top of the page, if it is large, like this one is likely a 970 by 250 pixels and is referred to as a billboard ad. Occasionally you'll see the smaller version, which would be called a leaderboard, and is 728 by 90 pixels. As we scroll, we see ads starting to appear, and on the right hand side we see this ad for Waterloo. In this case, the size is very common. It's a 300 by 250 pixel ad. One of the reasons that the size is referenced is that buyers of this type traditionally like to see the ad being as large as possible. They're brand advertisers who believe that the larger the ad is, the more impactful it will be. A different example of a display ad is an ad that first appears when you land on a web page and pops up and takes over the page. In these examples, there's a very clear distinction between the ad and the content that is adjacent to. When display ads first started, they were simple, static ads. However, over time, they've evolved to include motion and include elements of video-like ads. Staying on the Yahoo homepage, we can scroll down and see that there are ads embedded in the content stream. Here we have a mix of stories and ads, with the ads being distinct by having either an ad or a sponsored beside the name. So in this case, the content that you can see, this AI pinpoints when to get in and out of stocks, is very clearly an ad, as evidenced by the labeling. An alternative presentation made popular by companies like Outbrain and Taboola is a block of ads of this style at the bottom of the content page. Another key distinction compared to traditional display ads is the primary goal of a content ad is to get the user to click. For these reasons, these type of ads can be disparagingly referred to as spammy or clickbait. It's also the reason that some content publishers don't like them, since success for the advertiser equates to the user leaving the page. Now let's look at video ads, and as an example, let's look at the YouTube homepage. The traditional definition is that a video ad plays before or during a video content piece. This is a distinction that means very little to a consumer, but it's important to advertisers to distinguish video ads from other ads that have motion but aren't in a video stream and therefore may not be viewed. So let's look at this United Airlines business class deals here. If I click in, one of the things I'm interested in is the fact that it doesn't take me to a video experience. So traditionally, even though this is on YouTube, this would not be considered a video ad. However, if I click into a content video, in this case, I'm going to click into The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, what happens is that I get a video ad that runs in front of the content that I've been waiting for. I get an option to skip the ad here. If I don't, I'm going to have a 45-second video. And also I have what's called a companion ad up here on the right-hand side of the screen, where it's a static display ad for the same advertiser that's being advertised in the video ad. In the online world, additional factors come into play when thinking about the quality of the advertising environment. One is the size of the screen that the user's on. In this case, I'm on a PC, on a MacBook Air. But an ad is viewed as less impactful on a smaller screen like a phone, so there is a differentiation between large and small player. Also, attention span is shortened over time, so advertisers and publishers have had to adjust to formats like 6-second ads or skippable ads. Okay, and now we'll summarize the 4 main types of ads that we looked at today. The first was the search ad, the second was the display or banner ad, the third was a native or content ad, and finally the video ad. One distinction or one area that I didn't get into was social ads, and another was email ads. And the reason for that is I don't view those as a distinct format so much as a distinct environment where digital ads can be served up.